What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today I am extremely excited to go ahead and make this commentary because we are going to be going ahead and discussing a game that we touched upon a little while ago when it went into a demo phase. But the demo was only for single player. You could verse, well, not single player, it's not like it's a campaign, but you could only verse AI bots, basically. You couldn't actually verse real other players. It was just to showcase the concept of what this game was all about, and this game is Operation Harsh Doorstop. Now, when I went ahead and played this demo, I actually made a video, and I enjoyed it. For what it wasn't anything, insane. It's actually a game that's developed by a content creator, Blue Drake, actually, and it was cool. It was nice to see. It was refreshing, and the concept behind it being a game that's made for, the players. A game that's not absolutely crowded with microtransactions 24/7, and at the same time having just complete open mod support. I mean, players can come in at any time and just go to town when it comes to this game. Like I said, it's going to be a game for everyone. And just the idea, the concept behind all of that, I'm all about. I love stuff like that. I love games that support their communities, and I love games that allow their communities to build off of it as well. So when I heard all of this stuff, you best believe I said I was on board. I wanted to play the game, I wanted to try it out, and I wanted to be a part of the process, especially since, Blue Drake's being kind enough to just allow this to ride out being completely free to play. So again, like I said, I played the AI version demo. It was cool. It was whatever. I saw the potential, though. I saw the potential, but we had to wait and see what it's going to be like when it actually opened up and PvP was allowed. And here we are. We're at that stage, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much anybody out there who has a PC or has Steam installed, you can go ahead and hop into the servers right now, basically, and give this game a go. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to, say, wow, this game is outstanding. It's going to blow you away, because it's not. It's very, 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 very basic, bare minimal. It's nothing insane at this point. But the purpose of this video is that I want to discuss that even though it's very bare minimal right now, the potential is still there. 110%, a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road, if, of course, the developers want to keep backing it up and keep it pushing, and clearly people keep supporting it and it builds a bigger and bigger community, this could be the next big tax shooter or even milsim. But it's just simply one of those things that you have to go in and understand that it is extremely early on. And that's hard for some people, even when the developers are very open and say it's a freaking play test, this is the earliest version of this game ever, people will still play it and say this is garbage. They will look at everything that's wrong, and despite all the information that's been given to them, they will make their final judgment, their final decision right there, right then. And that's why developers stray away sometimes from letting their communities or letting people come into extremely early builds because of that exact reason. They're basically setting themselves up for failure because, I don't want to say the typical person, but there's a large amount of people out there who will make judgments based off of things like that, even with information that's been given to them. It's insane, honestly. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't want to deal with that, don't even bother playing right now. Wait for it to evolve. Wait for more content creators to come out, maybe talk about it. Of course, I will gladly continuously review this game on this channel. I'll let you guys know the progress of this game, if the developers are keeping up with it, or if they're slowing down, if they care about it anymore, so on and so forth. But if you don't mind bugs, glitches, sometimes server problems, so on and so forth, you can put up with that stuff and you can understand it's extremely early on, then I suggest hopping into the experience. Nothing, honestly, is more fun than trying out new games, new vibes, new atmospheres. And in my personal opinion, that's one of the main reasons why I switched to PC, for that exact reason, because I felt that PC had more games like that, more new, unique experiences. Yes, consoles always had those, absolute banger games, amazing franchises, amazing exclusives coming out all the time, but PC always had those just a bunch of indie games, and indie games are so fun and have so much passion packed behind them that I just always fall in love with them. And I've watched games like, DayZ, for example, blow up. H1Z1 blow up, PUBG blow up. All these games starting off as, very bare minimal, very low quality. Escape from Tarkov, all these games started somewhere and they built themselves up. Insurgency Sandstorm, the majority of the milsims out there, things like, Arma built themselves up, things like Squad built themselves up, everything that you could possibly think of, Hell Let Loose. So this is one of those situations, and if you're okay for, riding out the ride, then I would suggest hopping into the experience and showing a little support to the developers. Now, the way that I would personally describe this overall game is it's a perfect mix of a milsim and a tax shooter. I think of Insurgency Sandstorm and, Squad, or Hell Let Loose, or something of that sort, and I love all of these games, but, when I hop on these individual titles, I understand that my playstyle must change. When I'm on Insurgency Sandstorm, I play that game 10 trillion times different than, I play if I hop into a match of Squad. But for some strange reason, maybe I shouldn't say for some strange reason, but for an interesting reason in this game, it almost feels like a perfect in between. It feels like, well, not just yet. I feel like, as the game grows and the community grows and more mods come out and, teamwork, communication, all that stuff will build. At this current stage, a lot of people are just trying to understand the current game as it is. It just came out. Everybody's fresh into the experience. But as it grows, I could totally see the communication and the team play that is required in these mill sims like Hell Let Loose and Squad. While at the same time, it has the gunplay, the action, and the ability to be able to move like a game like Insurgency Sandstorm. You see, Insurgency Sandstorm, a lot of people consider it a mill sim, but I guess I consider it as well, but I consider it more of a tack shooter. I really do, because even though it does require teamwork, and yeah, there are moments where you are talking with your teammates. Well, the majority of the time, your teammates are just screaming random shit in your ears. But there are moments where, you could have good strategic talks where you have to work with your commander and stuff like that to actually get, streaks or things in the sky, so on and so forth. But the majority of the time, you can hop around and just absolutely demolish Insurgency Sandstorm just simply with gunplay. And that's what this game is also like as well. You need teamwork. You need to be able to actually communicate. You're going to have to, grow as a squad. But at the same time, the gunplay is so smooth. It's very fluent, Maybe not complete. I don't want to say so smooth, so fluent. But compared to other milsims where it feels it's very randomized. And don't get me wrong, it's kind of randomized in this game as well when you're spraying off your gun. But it just feels a lot more like connective, if that makes any type of sense. Same thing in Insurgency Sandstorm. It's not like a milsim like Squad where, you're shooting off your gun and it feels like, a bunch of random stuff and you just gotta try to nail a bullet. And no, in Insurgency Sandstorm, there's tons of recoil, but you can manage it, I pull off AKs all the time and manage that recoil like it's nothing. It really isn't that difficult. And a lot of the people who've been playing the game for a long time know this. So, that's what I like about this game. It's, once again, the perfect in-between. And I think that's what's going to help this game excel. It's going to give this game sort of an identity. It's not going to fall into the category of, Insurgency. It's not going to fall into the category of Squad or Hell Let Loose. It's not going to fall into the category of Arma. It's going to fall into the category of, its own style of game. Of course, if it grows. If it doesn't grow, then, just like any other game, it'll probably die out. But if they do take advantage of that potential, then yeah, I totally see this game going on for the long run, especially with added in mod support and probably, you can have awesome decked out co-op missions versus a bunch of, crazy AI, and you can really run some cool stuff. The game will only get better and better and better. But I do want to state this one last time, because I feel like I am hyping this game up a bit. It's hard because, again, it's free to play. It's really hard to critique free-to-play games because they are freaking free, But at the end of the day, I still like to critique stuff. I do, It's the fun out of making YouTube content. But seriously, despite if I see potential out of this, it needs a lot of work. I mean, the spawns are horrifying within this game, and to be able to spawn trap is beyond the point of easy. And when you get spawn trapped, it becomes absolute hell. Just a little bit more variety within weapons, which is coming in the future, so I'm not really worried about that. And just overall polishing. The game just needs to be polished. I'm not really worried about it being extremely fluent. It does feel a bit clunky here to there. Maybe it can be polished off a bit more in that category, but at the end of the day, I don't really expect that out of milsims or tack shooters and stuff like that. Maybe like a game like COD or, Battlefield. Yeah, I want something very smooth. But out of this, I don't mind, because it adds to the atmosphere, When it's very smooth, people are very aggressive when it comes to movement. When it's a little bit more, I don't want to say clunky, but slower, people will actually play it like how the game is supposed to be played. And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be, a milsim type tack shooter. So that's the community that they want to build. I just want to see it be polished. That's the only thing I could possibly say here is I just want it to be polished, And for anybody going into it, please don't expect it to be just, the most outstanding thing in the universe right now. It's going to need some work, and I don't want anybody to be turned away, because anybody can play it. Anybody in the world can play it. It's free, so a lot of eyes can witness this game, and a lot of people can come up with their decision right off the bat. And I'm just hoping that, people will understand the state that it's in and are willing to watch it grow a bit, especially since it doesn't cost anything out of their pocket, unless, of course, you want to support them, since that's how this game is basically being funded through Patreon, I believe, or some other service. I forget. You can literally see all the information about this game just by simply looking it up. But again, it's up to you to spend money. For everybody else, it's completely free to download. So don't go too crazy with it. Don't go judge it too hard. Let's see where it's going to be, a couple of months, a few months, even a year down the road. And then let's come up with some more real criticism. But right now, is it something to play on the side, something to add into your catalog? Yeah, you might want to dabble in it every once in a while. If you're bored, you might want to hop in and, test it out. I think it's worth it. I definitely think it's worth a go. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. But say hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and enjoy the content, subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, there's two ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link to that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.